Strange Darling, directed by J.T. Molnar, is a new movie that came out this weekend. It's something that I've been hearing so much buzz about lately. I saw multiple trailers, I saw a bunch of TikToks about it. Just a lot of people hyping it up as this new and inventive thriller that really pushes the boundaries of the genre. And I feel like I've heard that a bajillion times at this point, right? We have gotten so many low-budget thrillers, we've gotten so many movies that claim to be like reinventing the wheel and just don't, especially within this kind of genre. So I went in with decent expectations, but also like purposely not knowing anything about the plot. But, you know, I went in just kind of middlingly excited, I would say. And honestly, I'm very happy to say that I have been swept up in the hype for Strange Darling. This movie was an absolute home run. I think that it is really that inventive. It is that, you know, boundary pushing. It is that provocative. And it works on so many levels that I just kind of can't talk about. Because I don't want to ruin the movie for you guys. This is a movie that I want you to see with no expectations. I want you to know nothing about it. I just want you to go out and watch Strange Darling. And in order to do, you know, to have that full experience, I can't talk about any of the plot details or really any element outside of like this very surface level, or I feel like I'm going to ruin the appeal of this movie. So I'm going to try my best here, but, you know, take this review with a grain of salt just because I can't really be talking about fully what I want to talk about. I really have to commend both performances from Willa Fitzgerald and Kyler Gellner, I think that's how you say that name, for just handling so much of the weight of this movie and you know, the different twists and turns that it take would not be possible if they weren't both giving it their absolute all. And I feel like not a lot of actors, especially, you know, like not as experienced actors as these two, know how to be properly hammy, when to chew up the scene and then when to pull it back, you know, when to go all in, when to be more scaled back. And these two do it with such pitch perfect effort, you know, such precision that it was honestly super impressive, and I think that both of them should be, you know, commended incredibly for their performances. I really love the cinematography in this movie. I think it acts as a kind of a third character with almost like a voyeuristic approach. It really acts like a fly on the wall, like, you know, you as the audience are the you know, the third character between these two, watching these events unfold and learning new information as these characters learn new information. I think that was absolutely a brilliant choice. The non-linear storytelling, which I feel like you cannot escape from when you talk about this movie, I think is excellent. I think it really, again, it turns the entire genre on its head, and it uses the expectations that you have for these kinds of movies and uses it almost against you. It uses it in a way that it's toying with you the entire time, and it's so creative with its narrative, and it's so unlike anything I've ever seen with its script that I was honestly blown away. I do think that some of the moments in the third act, closer to the conclusion, not the actual conclusion itself, are a bit hammy. They are a bit too low-budget thriller. I know I keep bringing them up, but what I mean by that is, like, they're, you know, it almost delves into, like, daytime TV melodrama, but they're throwing it off as, like, you know, highbrow mystery, and, you know, those elements kind of creep into this film towards the end, but they veer off of it, and it's not a huge deal. I just noticed that, and it bugged me, just because I feel like, you know, this genre has been plagued, absolutely plagued with that, especially since I've been covering film for almost 4 years now, at least on this channel, and, you know, we've got movies like No Exit, what was another one that's like that? Windfall, if you remember that Netflix movie. Just like a pile of mediocre garbage that has been, I don't know, disappointment after disappointment, and then it's just numbness to the genre at this point. So, you know, seeing that those elements creep into this movie was disappointing, yes, because I was having such a great time with it, and it legitimately had my heart pounding. But it's not, it's not a deal breaker by any means. This is still a very strong effort, and I still think a movie that everybody should see and kind of delve into. It's a movie that should be discussed and talked about, kind of, which we've gotten a lot of this year, which has been pretty great, and you can kind of add that to this list of movies that really subvert your expectations in a way that I think will work for pretty much everybody. So I'm going to give Strange Darling a very strong 4 out of 5. I think this is, again, one of the stronger efforts of the year. Please let me know what you thought of this movie in the comments. I would really love to know. Please try to keep the spoilers to a minimum, just in case. But I would really love to know your guys' thoughts. I am going to be seeing the Crow remake and Blink, or is it Don't Blink Twice or Blink Twice? The Zoe Kravitz, Channing Tatum horror movie. I'm going to be seeing those both on Tuesday. And yeah, other than that, I will see you guys with the next video.